Okay, here we go with more Final Fantasy V Spoof. If you're watching this, you've come back for more. This is the third part of this series. Do mind the NSFW tag in the title. I will keep my commentary safe for work, but the text on the screen is probably would be considered quite offensive to a lot of people in 2017. Although if you can get yourself back into a 2002 mindset, you should be just fine, although I do not personally agree with much of the humor in this game. That said, let's go on. We're in the town of Carwin, just checking out what the townsfolk here say before we head up the mountain. This is what the innkeeper says. You notice for jobs, I am still gaining AP in the Black Mage and White Mage categories, and I have a thief in the party there just to try to get butts to learn the dash ability. So I'm just checking out everything in town here to see what kind of text changes have been made here in the town. So I'm hoping to pick up the dash ability with the thief. Okay, so I think this is I like this one because this is a reference to, I believe, probably the town music being inspired by the folk music of that part of the world. Okay, I guess I don't approve of the domestic violence reference again there, but I do like I do like the the reference to them being Scottish. That's pretty fun. That's enjoyable. All right, so I don't have anybody with bigger weapons, and I'm going to stay away from armor for now. You generally find most of the armor that you need. I am going to pick up my next level spells. I think I can get I can get not all of my next level spells. But these are very important. Mute and armor are going to be important for us. Yeah, and we're all good there. We're all good there. So there's a lot of ways to take care of the upcoming boss battle if you have the tools like I do. So that will be easy. We'll play our second piano. Have a listen. Okay, so we have the major scale that goes up to the 9th there. Major scaling up to the 9th, that's interesting. Okay, and so another Scottish-sounding accent there. So I'm curious if all of the townsfolk in this game that use this, yeah, boy oh boy, more of that stuff. I wonder if all the townsfolk that have this town music are going to have this, but... All right, that's a good one. That's a good one. Here's the bartender. Blimey. I'll get out me spoons. I guess I don't quite understand that reference to spoons. That's the big one right there. And then there's one other significant treasure. It doesn't change here, I don't think. Yeah, nothing changes if you come to the bar. By the way, seeing the passages is a passive ability of the thief class, but I don't really need that ability because I can generally see, or I generally know where most of them are, especially here in the early game. And again, they're kind of stacked towards the early game, although there are some dungeons later on that have some passages. Sometimes they're just lead to secrets, and sometimes they're necessary to advance, like the floating continent thing. Okay, looking for the Loch Ness Monster. There's another Spoons reference. Still got me killed from me schoolboy days. Scotty. Calls him Scotty. Okay, life is right good. I wonder, I don't remember what this character says in the vanilla version. I wonder what she says when you talk to her. I'm trying to remember, but usually when I go through this casually, I do not go out of my way to talk to people like this. Huh. There we go. It's the second from that side. And then one more important piece of treasure here is going to be this, the ice rod. And you can break it if you need to. There's that again. Thank you, Butts. And I think this is the last one. Another head scratcher there. Okay. But, so you can use the Ice Rod to just kind of skip this next battle and make it just kind of cheese through it. I am not planning on doing that. I will probably use the Sleep Spell, my newly learned Sleep Spell on the second part. And those of you who played this game a number of times before know what I'm talking about already. Those who don't, we will see. And I'm curious to... there's a particular aspect about the Magissa and Forza battle that I would kind of like to see. So, yeah. These aren't really worth it for me right now. I'll be running from most battles because I do need to get my chicken knife leveled up a little bit. So I'll be running from most of these battles here. We'll try a steal, and then we'll get away. And that becomes an easy way you can kind of get some things later. You can kind of cheese some things a little bit with the steel flea combo. So that works out pretty well because he does learn the flea prompt, which is nice, where it's just an immediate escape from battle. And I could learn Flash here, I guess, with the Blue Mage, but that requires a lot of going out of your way. The Blue Mage is a really, really powerful class, but it does require a little bit of going out of your way sometimes, or a little bit of extra, a couple extra steps. When you, if you do have access to the full complement of magic, it's not quite as important to go around and pick up all the best blue magic. You can get most bosses in the game. And so actually Mystic Knight is a great class for taking out a lot of the late game bosses, exploiting some weaknesses. And those spells you just learn, right, by buying them, so you don't really have to go out of your way too much with the Mystic Knight. But Blue Mage is a great class. Do not get me wrong there. Yeah, so I have to actually wait for my steal prompt there. If I hold the run buttons too quickly, the steal happens, or the escape happens before I can actually get the steal off. So far, no luck. So far, no luck in these battles. But I am charging up the chicken knife, so every battle I run away from is another half a point. Not really half a point, but every other battle I run away from is one more attack for the chicken knife. One more attack power. Boy, these guys must have rare steals because I am really not having good luck. So I am dashing here. That's the thief's passive ability, is the dash there that you can see. There we go. Glasses are a strictly better accessory than the leather shoes, because they give you that one defense, plus some weapons in there. They give you the extra defense plus protect you from the darkness status. There we go. Quick save here, and we will go on to fight the battle. And again, not much to worry about here. There we go. So just a potion. Just a potion there. Okay, so we were going to check out the cutscene. Here we get a mithril helmet there. That's Lena's father's helmet in the vanilla version, but here it's just, whoa, look, a mithril helmet. And she is hit by an arrow from Magissa. And is it still... She got owned with a 0. All right, well, at least that's still around. Okay, it's still Magissa. But it's her helmet, not the father. Yeah, yes, I did. All right, well, there we go. 2002 called. Yeah, so now Ferris makes the jump. The cliff piece falls out there. That's a nice one. And Ferris climbs her way back up. And now she throws the rope across, and everybody else can jump over. Again, I have to marvel at what it took to kind of time this to the animations and the action there. Calm down. What? Lena's fine. She got hit with a poison arrow. That's the only thing. So she suffers from poison status in this fight. But I do want to see what the dialogue is here, so I am going to just hang out. And we're just going to do a bunch of damage to her. And we will just put Forza to sleep when he gets there. This ice rod will boost the casting power of that ice spell. When Magissa takes a certain amount of damage, yeah, so here we go. So you saw it did, you know, almost 1.5 times more damage. You still have a random element in there in the multiplier, so I can't remember if she has anything to steal. No, she does not. And that's not great. Luckily, we can do this. And that'll help things. I think one more of these, and she should be calling up on Forza on her next action, I believe. She has, I think, 600 hit points, so she should be actually pretty close to dying here. She'll take a couple more hits. But then she'll go away. And then I can... Yeah, so she's gone. But it looks like that was the only thing, was the very short text prompt there. There's sleep status. So now Forza is completely nerfed. Forza will take no actions in this battle as long as I do not wake Forza up. So we can just hold A and just keep casting. I don't even have to reapply the sleep status because it will stay on indefinitely. And magic does not, in fact, wake you up. So getting hit by lightning in this game does not wake you up from sleep. You can see he has a little bit more resistance, a little more defense. These spells are doing considerably less. So now this is a hold A kind of battle. This is a hold A battle now, which is fine. And this is all old hat if you've played this game a number of times before, but I'm just pointing out the differences to anyone who hasn't. One way you can get around this, I referenced it before. You can, at any point in the game, if you get an elemental rod, fire, ice, or bolt rod, you can use the rod in battle and break it, and it will cast the 3rd level spell. So you can cast Ice 3 with that ice rod, if you have a black mage or any Mage League character that can equip the rod. And what that does is that can kill Magissa in one shot. It will take her all the way down, so she skips her prompt on summoning her husband Forza there. And actually, I came pretty close to killing her before she did it, even without that. And you get her whip, because Magissa's sprite has a whip. So yeah, if you can pile a bunch of damage on her, she can only summon Forza on her turn. So it's not an automatic prompt, it's just she checks her hit points every time she starts a turn, and if she's below a certain threshold of hit points, she will do the unhide monster Forza. But if you can skip her turn, then you can go right to it. So Lena's poison there, that's what that flashing was, but I can go right to this cutscene. And here's the great Lena's theme music again. And Lena has to go over the poison plants that we heard referenced in the town of Carwin. There it is again. She goes over another poisonous plant to collect the Hear You plant. Hear You. That's a good one. There's that nice bass slide down. Boo-doo-dee-roo-boom. Love it. Just love it. And so now the Hear You comes over and will cure her of poison. Then we can hop on the Hear You and mosey along. I think we'll explore Warris here. We'll have time in this video to explore that. And then I think we'll unlock the water crystal next video. This Lena's music is definitely something that should be savored and enjoyed. And this Kiryu music is also really nice music. I remember enjoying greatly when this the first translation patch came out in the early days of emulation. Absolutely beautiful. And there we go. So this game all the way through is gated very carefully. So there's Carwin, the town I was just visited. It's gated very carefully to what you can access when and where, like any good RPG should be. It's controlled very carefully. So I'm going to explore the next town here, and then I think we'll go back to Tycoon and visit that as well. We'll go through that one. Just so you can see all that extra text if you're interested in seeing what any of these townsfolk say. That must be sweet. Sweet, dude. Bill and Ben's Playhouse. Okay, Lena exclamation mark. Hey, like, hey, me too. That's actually not too far from what that frog says, I think, in the RPGE translation. Now that is a nice one here. I like that one. Of course, it has to go to my breasts, but yeah, it is true. Oh boy, that's great. That's the SNES for you. That's the SNES for you. Here I get, I think, some more glasses. I could have stolen myself a full complement of glasses while I was on the mountain. But general of this game, you do not have to do all that much work to. Yeah, there's the talking frog. How about fire magic? Yes, pretty amazing stuff. There's the waterfall, and then this is behind that waterfall. You can't get up there, it will just bounce around on you. So there we go. We do have a little bit of new magic to pick up that we can have unlocked for us when we pick up our next set of jobs at the Water Crystal. Never did trust the Scottish, so looks like that's okay. Heavy P, he's a nice monster even if he smells a little funny. I wonder if that's a reference to a specific person. Let's see what Heavy P has to say. Is there a text box? No. We're about to meet more Galaras, which they're supposed to be kind, gentle creatures. I will get this full complement of time magic, and I don't know if I might just get one of these summon spells. I'll be spending a little bit of time as a summoner. So let's head over to this castle, prompt the queue to go over to the tower, and then let's head on back to Tycoon and do that cutscene before we finish up today. Feel free to barge right in. Okay, yep, the Gakimasra enemies down there are very, very tough. They guard some nice treasure, though. The elf cape, it's very, very nice. Okay, little more reference to Lena being some kind of sex worker. And normally this is King Warris talking about why his kingdom needs to keep using the water crystal to take advantage of it. And that's the same thing that happens over in Karnak, where their town is kind of powered by the crystal. And so they tell him, you need to go and rescue the water crystal to stop it from shattering, and the fire crystal, but we're never quite in time. We're never quite in time to do it. And here is another meteor that comes down, similar to the meteor that Galef had come into town on. And it will go ahead and reshape the map a little bit. And we'll have to visit those meteors a little later. Bill and Ben's Playhouse. So there's a reference to the tower, the Juarez Tower, Bill and Ben's Playhouse. All right. But now we're just back in regular old castle music. And so that's been changed. That's good to note. We'll just kind of talk to a few more folks here in the castle. Pokemon in the water tower. Wow, so that Pokemon would have been pretty new at the time this was first written. And that's true. Those are very difficult to kill. Even when you're at very high levels, the Gakimarsra enemies are very difficult to kill. I hate Pokemon. Right on, brother. Although I do not hate Pokemon. At the time, I was probably playing a lot of Pokemon when I first played this game with the RPGE translation. It would not have bothered me to be playing Pokemon. Ooh, there's a manga library. Oh, I love it. There's a good screen grab. See, it's moments like that that make me like the spoof. It's moments like that that make me enjoy the translation here. Hey, there we go. Am I rewarded with any cool prompt there? So just a secret hentai section. Normally he gives you some other tip. This is just to kind of train you about hidden stuff and castles and... Oh boy, too much kanji. Oh. Those are going to be screen grabs for sure. I love it. All right, here we go. This is just a quick peek at the basement. Okay. Because we can go down and say hi to some of the game's, one of the game's more famous jailbirds. But I'll see what these guys have to say. Dragon Quest rules. Enix more than Square. There we go. Yes, I would like to see you do the crazy dance. Okay, and this is Lone Wolf. No, I will not open the door. And that's all he says. Okay, Lone Wolf is, if you let him go, he will steal some treasures from you later on. He will take some treasures from one of the game's dungeons. So this gets me out to the fountain. I can go in there and pick up Shiva. Shiva is the Pokemon that they were talking about. I can go back around there, back around this way to the ice tower back there. Not gonna worry about that now, and I will not go down to the basement to pick up the elf cape just yet. Not in this segment anyway. I will have that ready to go for next time. But let's go on over to Tycoon and take care of those cutscenes. And we will call this a part 3. And if you're looking for a walkthrough of this game, there are better ones there. There's a few potions up there, a few items up there, but it's not really worth the time to go grab them now. While we're recording, there are a few items in the Pirates Cave there now that the sleeping pirates are out of the way. I guess I should go say hi to them, but... And we have to speak to the Chancellor here. This is remember the castle that Lena came from in the very opening scene of the game. Hotornot.com. And Zepish is the author of this patch. So that reference there is a reference to the author of this patch. So I guess the author of this patch not quite as hot on hotornot.com. I don't know if that's even still around, but certainly at the time that would have been a thing. Okay, yep, the measly 7.4. Although that was probably an okay score. I never used hotornot.com, but I do know people who did. I was in college when it was really the biggest. And we get a little bit more into the backstory of Lena and Ferris during this one. But we also get some very valuable items down there when the Chancellor unlocks the lower treasure room for us. And they all nod. I like it. Another mini skirt, right? There we go. Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you, Chancellor. And this is where Lena and Ferris are doing some thinking about their childhoods, and then they figure out that they have a shared past, that they are indeed sisters, separated in early childhood. So I'll try not to mash through the text too quickly for anybody who really wants to see it. And I wonder, is this where we're going to find out that Ferris is a woman? I don't think Ferris has... Oh, the secret, that's right. I forgot Ferris has a different secret here. That's right. Okay, not like I'm secretly a woman. So there is a reference to the fact that Ferris is a woman in the official game. A woman masquerading as a man. As a pirate. Aren't you? Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes she wonders. And this is kind of a silly sequence. I'm not sure what the tone of this sequence was supposed to be in the Japanese version. It seems to not really fit the kind of serious events that happened the night before. And now we've got this, like, you get the silly music, and then you get him popping out of bed. Like, what? What? Like he was quickly brought out of a deep sleep or a dream. Oh, they were trying to put a skirt on him. Okay. Okay. Let's get out of here. Let's move it along. So I'll pick up a few of the treasures here in the castle. Oops, whoopsie. Pardon me. The orientation here, you got to be careful if you're holding directional buttons. Mary Jane. I wonder if that is elixir. Mary Jane might be an elixir. Let me see if that's in the description. Restores HP. So maybe, okay, that might be the high potion then. So Mary Jane would be the high potion, and sack of weed is that. Here's the key items again. What was the drug needle? I know the pendant. What was the drug needle? I don't remember when we picked that up. But the FF5 cartridge, we are all good. In terms of emulation, we are all good. And I still have the thief here, so if there are any hidden passages, we'll see them. But I don't think there are any here in this part of the game. Acid dose, I think that's the ether. Cabin is just a cabin, of course. And ecstasy, that must be the elixir. Ecstasy must be the elixir. Okay, so Sarissa. This might be the first time we've seen a reference to Sarissa. And yeah, Sarissa, Lena's older sister. She was kidnapped by pirates. Yes. So maybe there is that shared history. Maybe Ferris is lying about her heritage in this one. Continuing to lie about her heritage in this one. But I think by now we found out that Ferris is a woman. So we can go down and get the heal staff. There's also a couple of cabins up here. But I'm guessing ecstasy is our elixir. And I guess in 2002, they went with ecstasy. Could have been a very 2002 reference to other drugs that, other club or dancing drugs that are no longer used now. I'm trying to remember what some of them might have been, but not really something that we talk about too much. Chancellor is waiting. Yep, loot the castle. Everyone else is doing it. So there's a reference to... castle looting, common in Final Fantasy games. Here's the hidden passage there. It's not really much of a secret because there's a big switch on the wall there. Here he gives us the heal staff. All right, but it is the heal staff, which is one of the most valuable items in the game, not in terms of money. the shuriken, and the katana. The katana, if you are not using the samurai class, is really nice to sell at this point in the game. You can make a bunch of money from selling that katana. A couple of thousand, which if you're playing non-casually, so if you're moving through quickly like in a Fiesta run where you're trying to get through World 1, that can be a nice boost to the money. All right, so as I head my way back to Warris, we'll do the Elf Cape Gakimasura enemies, and we will do the battle for the Water Crystal in the next video. If you did like this one, feel free to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. If this is totally insulting to you, I definitely apologize. This is part of just kind of archiving things for the future generations to enjoy or marvel at or wonder about. Get in touch with me on Twitter, where I am also active_ATE, and we will see you next time.